Hello, this is Lauren speaking, and if you're new to my channel, I am a professional astrologer. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Fall Equinox Chart for 2023. The exact date of that chart is September 23rd, 2023 at 7:50 a.m. in Greenwich, UK. And that's what I use for mundane solstice equinox charts, the location, GMT, Universal Time. So I don't know if you watched my summer solstice chart in 2023, but we have a few similarities here in that Neptune was square to the Sun in that chart, and here we see Neptune oppose the Sun. And on top of that, the moon is squaring into the opposition. So we have a T-square there involving both luminaries. Now, keep in mind that Neptune, and I'm paraphrasing Noel Till, he always says Neptune is other than it seems, other than it really is. It rules over things like the imagination, fantasy, make-believe. We could go on and on in terms of symbolism here. Water, flooding. But anyways, nebulous, confusing, rules over deceit, deception. Also rules over, interestingly enough, drugs, alcohol, pharmaceuticals, this kind of thing. At any rate, we could go on and on with symbolism, but let's just keep to what we have here, is that notice that this T-square, the moon is in the 3rd, Neptune in the 6th, Sun in the 12th. So let's talk about those houses, how they line up. Now, the 3rd house has everything to do with communications and transportation, all forms of. Therefore, we're talking about media, news, internet, etc., etc. The moon happens to rule the 10th house. Those are those that are in the parties in power, presidents, global organization like the UN, for example, one world government, this kind of thing, in the 3rd house of communications and transportation. Now, Neptune, in its ruling sign of Pisces, ruling the 6th, in the 6th house. Well, the 6th house has everything to do with service, military service, all branches of civil service, as well as health organizations. It rules over medical services, public health, health workers, nurses, practitioners, doctors, healers, this kind of thing. And with the Sun in the 12th house, well, the 12th house rules over places of confinement, such as prisons, hospitals, retirement homes. It rules over things that are hidden, hidden, secret groups, secret government entities, secret enemies, behind-the-scenes manipulation. It rules crime and criminals, terrorist activities, hostage situations. So you kind of get the picture here. Organizations, it says, ordered by law, organizations devoted to forcible control or condemnation of people. And it rules the 11th house. So when we take a look at the 11th house with the Sun ruling the 11th, that's all institutions and branches of government, the Senate, the House, this kind of thing, local governments, and it represents the nation's desires, aims, purposes, and projects. Now, I'll bring to your attention here, because I find this really quite fascinating, is that just in the past few days and in the first 2 weeks of September, the censorship has gone up a great degree. Now, again, Moon in the 3rd, communications, Neptune in the 6th. For example, I'll give you 3 cases. One, Dr. Berg with 11, I couldn't get that word out, 11 million subscribers on YouTube has just been censored. And he talks about that in his latest video. Another channel, Dutch Sense, he's been on YouTube since 2006. I've been watching him since 2010. He predicts earthquakes. And phenomenal channel, 637,000 subscribers, just got censored. He's not allowed to reply to or comment on any video on YouTube, let alone his own channel, cannot reply. It's all blacked out to any posts on his videos. And he has like 3,000 videos on his channel. Both of those just happened on the 12th of September. And the next one is Disaster Compilations, which apparently got struck down on copyright on September 2nd. I think 23 strikes, he said. They had 1 million subscribers. And he opened up another channel just to talk about write about what happened. So, as you can see, heavy censorship. This is just this T-square. It's a perfect corroboration of events with the astrology. And by the way, Dr. Berg apparently is an alternative health practitioner, so they wanted to silence him. So, whatever is going to be occurring over the next 3 months, I would say that we're going to see more and more heavy censorship online, especially, interestingly enough, people involved in alternative health and people involved with climate weather things going on, not just earthquakes, but, well, look at what we've seen over the past 3 months, pretty devastating, with the fires, the floods, the earthquakes, just in Morocco now, in Libya, the flooding, etc., Maui, everything seems to be on fire, Turkey, Greece, Italy, etc., Canary Islands. So, who knows? Could be more of this coming. Could also be that something comes out for another quote-unquote pandemic or reason for them to perhaps confine people, lock them down, etc. Sorry about that, but look at that T-square. Honestly. So that's the big aspect configuration in this chart. Now we also happen to have Pluto squaring into the North Node. This would be, the symbolism here would be, identification with large groups of people. Those large groups of people are us, the North Node, and with Pluto in the 4th house, which corresponds to the living conditions of the population, housing, real estate, farming, agriculture, crops and produce, and also weather conditions, earthquakes, fires, etc. You should possibly see my summer solstice chart where the 4th house was heavily emphasized, and look what's going on. As well, the 3rd house does have to do with relations with neighboring countries and has to do with local losses sustained by accidents or storms, and a lot of outreach from other countries to Libya now, Morocco, this kind of thing. So I think we're going to see, it's basically, to me, this chart is a continuation of the summer solstice chart. We're in a time period where transiting Neptune is in a mutable sign in Pisces. Well, as you can see, it was square to the sun in summer solstice chart, June 21st, and now it's opposed the sun. So a lot of things are very nebulous, okay, other than it seems. There's a lot going on here. That I think we're going to see over the next 3 months. So, as somebody might say, get the popcorn ready to pop and put your seatbelt on. Who knows where this is all heading. I will add one more thing here in the chart that I found kind of, well, I don't want to say humorous, but I guess you have to laugh at life sometimes. But I was looking at that Venus square to the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction in the 8th house, the green, outlined in green, and I said, oh, that's interesting. That's a midpoint picture. Let's see. Venus at the midpoint of Uranus and Jupiter, or Jupiter and Uranus. And so I looked up that midpoint picture. I figured it would have to do with, we're talking mundane astrology here, so we're not talking falling in love in an individual's horoscope. But one word that really stood out to me and I got these, let's say this from Noel Till's book. In the back he has an appendix for midpoints in his solar arc book, and one word that really stood out was, for this midpoint, narcissism. And I thought, narcissism, wow. Anyways, you can take that however you want. So who knows, also with the 8th house, this could have to do with the digital currency push they want to go toward, and that Pluto square north node can be a whole change of perspective, and Pluto is, it can be controlling the public, we could say, Pluto square north node, potentially through these unbelievable disasters that are happening with the flooding, earthquake, and fires. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Pluto also rules the 2nd house of finances in this chart. Anyways, there's a lot that people can analyze on their own there, but just wanted to do a quick analysis of that chart, and we'll see where things go between now and the end of December. At any rate, everything is in the description regarding how you can get in touch with me below the video or on the About page on my YouTube channel. Sending you lots of blessings. Reach out if I can help you through astrology. Okay, take care now. Bye-bye.